one comment on what Carolyn's been saying in the last minute or two. You're dealing with symbols in churches that acknowledge the Indigenous people. I ran into strife on this one in one of Sydney's major Anglican churches, St. James, King Street, when in a sermon there, I pointed out that there are 3 plaques on the wall referring to white people who died in confrontations with Aboriginal people, and not a word about the violence experienced by Aboriginal people. And I said, this beautiful church that we love so much is teaching a false history of Australia. That caused some consternation. In fact, there was a committee that rolled on for 2 years pondering what could be done about this. What they did about it eventually, I think, was very good. They left the old plaques right where they were. That's part of Australian history. We can't paint it out, it's there. But they said, we will put up something else right in the entrance of the church, where everyone sees it. A large plaque commemorating the Indigenous people of that part of the land, and also the convicts that had built the church and the convict architect that had designed it. I would have preferred that to be 2 separate plaques, but at least we got an acknowledgement. But that led me to think that there are other ways in which our churches misrepresent Australian history. I mean, the honour rolls that a lot of churches have and that get celebrated, pointed to at Remembrance Day or Anzac Day. There's mention of world wars. There's no mention of the founding Civil War and of the people on both sides, black and white, who died in that conflict. The Civil War of Australia's founding gets screened out of consciousness by what's in our churches. So I think there's another battle to be had there, especially in the older churches that still have those honor rolls or even have flags at the front of the church. Yeah, that was, oh, can I make one additional comment? I was intrigued in your pictures that you showed the court in session in all its liturgical regalia. And that reminded me of something that said to me by the then Anglican Primate of Canada. He was on his way to some small congregation way up in the Arctic that worshipped in a shed. And he had all his liturgical regalia with him, mitre and all the rest. And I said, why are you taking all that? You could celebrate perfectly well in a very simple alb and stole. And he said to me, David, these people more than anyone else need to be reminded that they are part of the church. And I saw the same thing. I guess the same sort of logic is in your minds when you put on all your regalia for a meeting of the court way up in the sticks. Yes. These people more than anyone else need to see the seriousness of this court in session. But that's just a passing comment.
Yeah, that's exactly the idea. During the trial, we're just wearing ordinary clothes, and we're sitting in the riverbed, and that's to make sure that witnesses are comfortable about things. And the rules are also a bit different from a normal court because the native title, it's customary for people to have their relatives sitting next to them and to make them feel comfortable. So you know, and sometimes evidence is given in a group. But that's, yeah, I mean, so there's that level of informality. But when it comes to the determination, yes, I think people want to see the whole regalia because that sort of gives a level of gravity and you know, I suppose, honour to the whole thing, whole process.